there's like a new release of new creative energy. Like the conflict and the struggle leads to a release of the anxieties and the tensions that brings on sort of a creative urge, creative splurges. You see there the two dolphins, like the divine feminine and divine masculine, are kind of joyfully playing in the waves in the sea. And there's a shift of energy, and a kind of release of anything that was stagnant and stale. I'm just gonna, I find these cards are lovely. I'm gonna see what they want to say. So let's see what the divine feminine wants her divine masculine to know. The divine feminine feel the desire to reassure the divine masculine at the moment. Like she just wants to say, don't worry, you know, and it'll be okay, and you know, don't let your mind run away with you. There's another one. Because, and that's all part of, you know, preparing for union, really, because if you it's like reassurance is a wonderful thing, and it's lovely, and it can feel like being cuddled and things like that. It's a lot to keep up, you know. It's a lot to keep up, and it's always lovely to be reassured, you know, and to have your doubts. This is also to do with letting go of doubts, letting go of fears and doubts, and it's about not letting your doubts and your self-doubt get into the driver's seat. I get this feeling with the divine masculines that they've kind of got all their eggs in one basket, and it makes them feel very vulnerable. There you go. Like, yeah, like the energy that they have is so all-encompassing. It sort of breaks through all the shells, all the molds, all the pretenses that they might have tried to hide their love. It just kind of bursts through, and it makes them feel very exposed and very vulnerable, because it's like, this isn't even a mask. This is like, it's more than only a mask. It's like a full life that has been has encapsulated and hidden away the truth, which is this beautiful heart releasing energy. And it's almost like this has had the upper hand almost. It's like everything that was trying to keep this hidden has had to be, like a tower moment, has had to be just shoved out the way, because this is truth. And divine feminine, divine masculine live from this place of truth, and it's kind of like they have to let the chips fall where they may. They can't mold themselves into a shape to please others. Sometimes they might please others and they might not please others, but if they're true to themselves, they will allow this crumbling away of what's essentially what's the right word? A mold to be accepted. You know, you sort of bend yourself into a position to be liked and accepted by others. And the divine feminine and the divine masculine don't do that. And that's what this is about. It's kind of like, you know, if this is going to exist, then this can't exist too. You know, we can't have this all kind of holding this in. This is the truth. This is real. And this is like a facade that has to fall away. Okay, whatever that is to your situation with the divine feminine, divine masculine. So, and this is more of this energy, really, is this letting go of self-doubt and trusting, and just being willing to kind of soar with the thermals. Allow the thermals to carry you, allow the wind to carry you. Again, this is very like this one. It's about the truth burning through. The reality of who you are. Insisting that any shadows, any any sort of puppetry burns away as this awareness, just pure and beautiful, just kind of melts away everything that is not it. Yeah, and this is the maturity. It's the melting away of the ego, actually. That's what it is. Take my glasses off a minute. Okay. Yeah. And this back to the basics, you know, the growth that the divine masculine and divine feminine have is undeniable. The roots are deep, you know, the tree has grown, and there's just an experiencing of that, an acknowledgement and an experiencing of that maturity, which is here. And the adventure that brings, this sort of childlike adventure that, you know, they come back to finding the fun again, you know, finding, never feeling like they have to do something because they've got to do something for, you know, pleasing other people. It's like off on an adventure, discovery, an adventure, and you know, in like with these rainbow colours, and there's a few of these rainbow colours, some rainbows in this cloak here as well. See the rainbow colours there, and then the adventure there. There's just off to explore, and then we've also got these rainbow colours here as well. So it's about opening up to all the colours of the rainbows, you know, all colours of hope, and allowing all of them to be there and explore them. So yeah. I think that's what it's about. This one's a very powerful card. I might leave that one out, actually. So let's see if we can get more about this. How are the divine... What would help? What would the divine feminine like the divine masculine to know to help him through this? Because, see, it's a breakthrough and not a breakdown. See the difference there? You see, in society, we think... There's this thing called a breakdown, and a breakdown is sometimes a very necessary change. I don't mean that there's a breakdown, but there's a breakthrough is different, because a breakthrough has energy about it. A breakdown is a kind of crashing and a crumbling, but a breakthrough is when things just won't be able to continue the way they were, right? So the breakthrough... Oops. Oh my goodness me, I don't know if I want to do 3 of those. Let's mix these a bit more. The breakthrough is more like a... well, it's a breakthrough. It's like a bursting through of any restrictions. You know, it's like... do not hold me back anymore. That's what it is. You know, that's what a breakthrough is. Yeah, let's have a look at what we've got here. What else do we have? Yeah, the fears. Yeah, we've still got the fears and the healing. Yeah, the healing, balance. Wow, these have come up before. Let's come back to this twin flames, right? Fire energy is very... This is fire energy. This is what fire energy does. It's creative and it's destructive. It's warm and it can be hot, so that it can burn, and equally it can warm and you can be attracted to it. And it's an energy to be managed, to get to know. And it's almost like both twins have to get to know what this fire between them is. How come there's such a strong spark that produces this flame, this fire, and they've almost got to learn to work with that energy, so that when they come together, they don't go into blame mode for how they feel. They know they've taken full responsibility for you know, their part of the journey. And you know, it's a relationship of, it's a fiery relationship. It's a fiery relationship before they're even together, you know. And you know, this kind of, you know, being in fear, this is a normal part of being human. And the challenge is not to allow this shadow to kind of take away the light, you know. It's to not allow the fears and the doubts and the worries and all that to put this fire out. This is real. This is real. You know, this is the fire. This is the twin flame. It's a flame. And you can see here, you see the flame is here in the heart. You see this flame. And sometimes, you know, this is required, so then the balance comes back in. So that nothing is done because of any shoulds, but done because of joy, done because it's desired, done because they want to, not done for a reaction or for a response or for anything, but just is just a lovely kind of desire to give and express. And sometimes the balance is required to just be in a state of allowing the natural love between them to be there. Not there's no need to sell it, you know, just to express it and share it out of the joy of expressing and sharing. And whatever is needed for either twin to nurture themselves, you know, whatever's needed to nurture themselves. And there is an acknowledgement of, you know, sort of darkness, but it doesn't have to take over and consume. You can say, yeah, you know, here's some darkness, here's the fears, here's whatever, you know, this is my shadow, this is what's following me about, you know, this is the more light, the brighter my light, the bigger my shadow. And it doesn't have to be all consuming, you know, it doesn't have to be all consuming. Let's see what the Divine Masculine wants to say. Yeah. When I look into your eyes, I can see through to your soul. See, that's real. That's the true sign of a divine relationship. You know, of the twin flame relationship is the eyes being the windows of the soul. And, you know, if you're ever in doubt about whether you're in a twin flame relationship or whether someone is your twin flame or not, all you have to do is look in their eyes. And there it is, right there. There's the truth right there. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to snuggling up to you every night and sleeping peacefully. Aww, you're my life. Aww, we are one, and you're my guiding light. Aww. So, yeah, it's just the desire to come home to yourself with your divine counterpart, to merge as one, to not be separate, you know. And you can feel the energy of that, you know. Just that respect, you know, there's beautiful sense of appreciation and respect. I'm looking forward to snuggling up to you every night and sleeping peacefully, you know. You're my life, we are one. You're my guiding light. It's that feeling of coming home. That's what these are. That's what these are all about. So let's just see if we can get one more from these cards here. From the Divine Feminine to her Divine Masculine. What does she want to say tonight? What does she want to let them know tonight? There it is. Gosh, that's the same as those other ones, isn't it? That's the same as... Where's that one that was with the, you know, the one that had the melting kind of... Oh, don't know where it's gone. Where it is. This one. It's like this. It's very similar, isn't it? Yeah. It's just about that, you know, just allowing the realness, the real, true, you know, experiential, beautiful, golden light, the divine within the relationship to pierce through any concerns. Because you see, if you seek the truth, and the truth is that you and your twin flame belong together, yeah, then you won't entertain the doubt. Okay, you might not know how you're going to get together, you might not know when you're going to get together, you might not know where your twin flame is, but the truth speaks volumes. So when you find your mind going fear, you know, worried, and you know, that sort of yakety stuff that gets in the way, just rip back the curtain from all the thoughts and just come back home to the truth. You know, if you've looked in the eyes of your Divine Masculine, your Divine Feminine, that's the truth. Where's that card? The one that says, you know, that's the truth. When I look into your eyes, I can see through to your soul. You know, just that opening into your soul. That's the truth. And so, and this is the truth as well. We're one. And so it's like, instead of asking your partner to reassure you that your fears are not going to become a reality, okay, connect with the truth of your relationship, connect with the reality, connect with the truth, and then the doubts and the fears that your mind might be filling up, this light that's so bright that when you look in your divine counterpart's eyes, you can see this light. You see that, in fact, there you are, you're my guiding light, see? So that truth pierces through everything that you're wanting reassurance about. And you know it, you know? You have to, you don't have to. It's all, but you've always got choice. But to navigate these waters, come back home to your own truth, outside of what anybody else might be telling you, because you know the truth. And that's what matters. And that's what, in fact, you know, you don't even need to hold on to it. It's so bright, right? It's just there. It's so bright. It doesn't it's brighter than any doubts and fears. Okay, it's brighter than any doubts and fears, and you know it, and you gain confidence in it by coming back to it. You know, when you find yourself disappearing off into, you know, all the worries and all the am I good enoughs and all that kind of stuff, find your confidence in the truth, because it's there. It's like the sun, you know, it's bright. The truth is this sun. It's like the sun. It's this bright ball of fire that is constant, and then the clouds just get in the way. So it's a bit like, you know, there's your truth, you know, there's the truth, there's the truth. So don't entertain any of your worries, just the truth, and then you'll find love right there, and you can just merge with your divine feminine or your divine masculine. Your divine feminine, divine masculine can merge. See, that's the truth between them. If that's your divine feminine, divine masculine, there's the truth there. Okay. So I hope that helps somebody today. Okay.